sale. Get a head start on next summer and renew your season tickets early. Head down to the box office before the end of the fourth inning or email us at tickets@corvallisnights.com to lock in your seats for next season.
Fans, if the Knights win tonight, everyone is going home with a free McDonald's fry. Get your coupon after the game.
Mexican Grill is a proud sponsor of your Corvallis Knights. Food for people who love food. Who can't help but love in Corvallis?
Good evening, Knights fans, and welcome to the 2026 West Coast League Playoffs. Tonight's contest features your Corvallis Knights taking on the Walla Sweets in Game 2 of this best-of-3 series, South Divisional Series. Your Knights lead the series 1-0 after taking last night's Game 1 in Walla 15-5. First pitch tonight is scheduled for 6:35. And now here are tonight's starting lineups, beginning with our visitors, the Walla Sweets. Leading off and playing third base.
Hi again, everybody, from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on the campus of Oregon State University in Corvallis, along with Brian Thomas, Javon Grossman, Dale Hummel, and Garrett Dworshak. This is Mike Parker welcoming you to Game 2 of the West Coast League South Divisional Playoff Series between the Corvallis Knights and the Walla Sweets. The Knights took the opener last night in Walla at Borleski Stadium 15-5, and thus have a chance to win the series tonight on this beautiful Saturday evening for baseball. The smoke is clearing with an AQI of 29, a beautiful warm temperature, great conditions for baseball. Two road-weary teams, no doubt, both leaving after the game last night from the great Walla Valley, and both arriving back here around 4 o'clock in the morning. So in that sense, no great advantage for either team with respect to the arduous and long travel. In the end, they preferred to travel by night. There was really no, I guess they could have gotten up early, but no, they came home and got as much sleep as they could. But I'm sure they're all revivified, refreshed, young, and ready to go for Game 2. It's an elimination game for Walla Walla. The Knights do have the luxury of, if they don't take care of business tonight, of handing the ball to Bryce Hill tomorrow in a decisive Game 3. But the Knights are hopeful they can wrap it up here this evening, have a couple of days off then before hosting the South Division title game on Tuesday. And then we'll take things from there if indeed the Knights continue to prosper as they have so many times through the years in the postseason, advancing to 14 championship series, 13 under the skipper, Brooke Knight. Brooke has done a marvelous job with the team this year. It has been a pleasure to get to know many of his players during the course of the summer of 2026. We've had Bo Kearns on a couple of times, Spencer Scott once. Never have we had Brooke Knight on in this summer of 2026. So it's time to make amends and talk to him about a really remarkable season and turnaround here. The Knights have won 12 of their last 16, 5 consecutive series, and have played their way to home field advantage and a chance to wrap up the first round playoff series tonight. A conversation with Brooke Knight coming up. Tickets available. Hope to see you at the window for tonight's ball game. A good pre-sale, looking for over 1,000 folks for an unscheduled game. That's a very good crowd for something that hasn't been in your pocket schedule or on your magnet schedule on your refrigerator all summer long. The true fans who follow and are really passionate about the team are coming in good numbers. We hope you're on your way as well. 2 minutes with the skipper. In 2 minutes, a conversation with Brooke. That's coming up in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
For our ceremonial first pitch. And tonight, for Paventi and Brown Orthodontics, junior first pitcher, we have Chloe. Let's put our hands together, Knights fans. Great job, Chloe.
Welcome back to Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, South Divisional Series, Game 2, the Knights and Walla Walla. The Knights in a very familiar position, a chance to win at home in the playoffs in advance after last night's 15-5 win in Walla Walla and the long trip back. Beautiful evening for baseball, good crowd coming in. The skipper joins me. Brooke, it's been the first time all summer I've been trying to get to know your guys. I've had Bo on a couple of times, Coach Scott. So thanks for sitting down with me after a really strong finish. And I don't know how in your long coaching career how you feel about this team and what it's accomplished, but my sense is you've got to be pretty proud of this group and how they pulled together here down the stretch.
Absolutely. Obviously, we had to navigate some pretty rough waters in the first 3-4 weeks of the season, and we weren't quite sure where that was headed, and it was just kind of sticking to the process. And obviously so many changes in the last year or two with NIL portal stuff with the NCAA, and then how that kind of trickles down to our level as well. And so yeah, there was a lot going on. I feel like we've worked harder than we've ever worked to try to create that culture and chemistry that we'd love to be about, and also make sure that we've got enough, quality players on the field to be competitive and give these guys opportunities to grow and get better. So it definitely took longer this year, and there were some sleepless nights in there just trying to figure out which buttons to push and how to get these guys all kind of rowing the same direction. So I would say, without question, it's got to be our most improved team effort. Fortunately, we have had a handful of guys that have been here from day one or near that, with the semester quarter school thing, the Medinas and the Moroscos, and then you had, Severance and Porter show up a couple weeks into it. Obviously the Arms, the Novaceks have been here the whole time. And, we obviously swapped out a guy behind the plate, made some, adjustments there with the lineup. And Diego Cruz coming in was a spark plug for us, and he's been just really good with the energy and those types of things. And then Mav with his bat and offering some offensive punch. And can't say enough about Zane Garvey, who's been here from the get-go and just really helped us in so many ways. So again, I can go right around the roster, obviously, and again, you always forget guys, but the Bryce Hills, who've been just he's grown so much on the mound. He's going to be such a much better, more prepared young freshman at Stanford. But anyway, we can go down the line. But I'm from a team perspective, really, really proud of kind of where we're at. And I think the key right now is just to not get complacent. It's great to get game one. I've been really, really good at losing game one over many, many different seasons in Corvallis or in Australia. And so it's a little different speech tonight before the game, and hopefully just stay focused and inspired and understand that, momentum's a real thing, and we've got to show up ready to go tonight.
You said, and you're right about, you could go right down the line, and we don't have the time. You got a team meeting, I got to get on the air. 55 different guys, the most players ever on a roster during the season. They all, in some ways, made contributions. So you've named off several. But was there a moment, Coach Brooke, a series, a game? I mean, you were 13-14 in the first half, and then after losing to Walla in a rubber game here just a few weeks ago, you were 7-5 in the second half. You finish up 18-9, win the second half. You've won 12 of your last 16. So what did you kind of feel kicked in at a certain point?
Well, again, I think we started throwing more strikes. It all does start on the mound, and you've got to do that to give yourself a chance to be competitive. And early on, we couldn't get to kind of our brand of baseball, and our brand of baseball is usually tended to be running the bases well and intelligently, and taking some chances and trying to put some pressure on the other guys and moving runners over, and the different ways you try to do that. And the games were out of hand, whether we were getting boat raced or boat racing somebody else, and it just didn't make sense. So we couldn't kind of get to those development opportunities early on to take those next steps that we knew we needed to give these guys some freedom to play the game and play it at a higher level. So there was that for sure. And then the bats got going, and just like when a pitching staff starts struggling to throw strikes, it catches fire and it just kind of goes around. Everybody takes a turn. I think a hitting lineup's very similar. All it takes is one or two guys to kind of get it going, and we had that. I can't remember, there were a couple of games there. I think Medina had a 4-hit game, and I think Porter had a couple of really good back-to-back games, and Severance has been steady, and so it kind of just got the rest of the lineup rolling. And having some speed up front in the lineup surely helps, with some guys that can tuck into it. And I don't want to be remiss in, Xavier Rios, 2 summers, has just been an absolute warrior for us. The guy has really been a rock and helped us, behind the plate. And he bleeds Corvallis night. He loves being here, and I love the fact that Even when he's been playing a little sore injured, he doesn't complain. And so having guys like that, especially when they happen to be at the catching position, has been really important for us.
Last thing, and that is tonight with Micah Hagler, and then if there is a game 3, you have a kid you've already mentioned in Bryce Hill. Micah's been steady too, hasn't he? So what do you kind of, I guess, in looking at what you know from their lineup and what Micah does, what you're expecting from him based on what you've seen from him this summer?
Yeah, well, I really like the fact that Mike has got the ball today. He's a reliable, veteran, consistent, mature type of arm. He knows who he is. He knows what he's trying to do to get the other guys out. And, there's some peace of mind with certain guys when you give them the baseball that they're going to compete in the zone and be hyper competitive, So hopefully he gives us every opportunity to just play catch behind him and find ways to put up a few runs and get us to those next guys. Obviously, not having to use Kellen last night, a guy who's been here all summer and been a two-way guy for us, and just improved vastly on the mound. Knowing we've got him in our pocket for the last couple innings tonight is a big deal. I would anticipate a really close, quality baseball game. I don't think it's ever easy, and I think with Micah, he's going to give us the opportunity to win the baseball game simply because he's going to be in the zone. And Goss obviously plays in too, right? I mean, you've got to hit it, even though it's blown out to left as it normally does during the summer. You really got to hit it and Micah's tends to be a ground ball type guy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this evening and how the guys show up.
Brooke, every season, this is your 18th, and you've coached in a lot of other spots and places too, but 18 years with the Knights. Every season takes on its own shape, but it's not surprising to me that no matter what, no matter how difficult it's been, to be in a position at home to advance and win a series, that's what you've been doing all 18 years. So it's got to feel good to be back home and have that opportunity again tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you get to this point, I told the guys in Walla last night, I just said, hey, my goal personally has always been to find a way to get the team to the postseason. And it doesn't mean our job, from a staff perspective, obviously stops. We've got to be sharp and be prepared. But, this game is for the players, and the players win or lose these types of games, right? I mean, they got to play easy, they got to play confident, and it's their forum at this point. And we're just here to hopefully lead the way a little bit and make a few decisions here and there. But it's up to the players to take it if they want it, and I feel like this group wants it.
Thanks a lot, Brooke, for everything.
You got it. Thank you, Mike.
Head coach Brooke Knight, the skipper. Game 2 coming up just around the corner with Micah Hagler ready to deliver the first pitch. Gorgeous night for baseball. Good walk-up crowd coming in. Great atmosphere as always. Ed Goss for playoff baseball. Back in 2 minutes with the first pitch after this on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Well, here we go, 85 degrees, the AQI, which was at 193 a couple of days ago. Goodness gracious, is down to 28. Beautiful evening for baseball. Slight breezes blowing out to left. Great to be with you on this beautiful night for playoff baseball. The Corvallis Knights and the Walla Walla Sweets about ready to get underway, with Walla Walla needing to win to continue its season. The Knights, red hot, have won 5 consecutive series. The last time they lost a series, though, was to Walla Walla here just a few weeks back. They've taken off since and come in after the 15-5 win last night, hoping to take care of business here this evening. And to that end, Micah Hagler, the starting pitcher, ready to go, and his first pitch to Kyler Bittner misses down and away, and we are underway in this perfect night for baseball with a good crowd continuing to come in. Playoff baseball in Corvallis. Hagler kicks and comes back with a 1-0 pitch. That's just inside for ball 2, and I feel almost like saying, so that's how it's going to be, eh? 2 balls and no strikes to Kyler Bittner. It's J.T. Rentschler calling balls and strikes, with Clayton Kellogg, the umpire, at first, Jacob Fisher at second. Micah's 2-0 pitch fisted in the air to the left of Diego Cruz and his future Oregon State teammate's right, Ethan Porter. Ethan ranged to his right, stepped in front of Diego, and made the catch, so all is well. But a little bit of a start for yours truly as we get started on this beautiful night for baseball in the Mid-Valley. That was Kyler Bittner, the third baseman, popping out to Porter. Now Gage Reeser, the 2-hole hitter for the Walla Walla Sweets, and the shortstop stepping in. Sam Kane batting third and center. Gaines Hawson, the cleanup hitter, at first base. Royce Hale batting fifth in left. Hagler delivers, and the fastball is high. Batting sixth in right field, Bo Stinson. Troy Osborne batting seventh and catching. Keegan Kelly, Osborne batting seventh and catching. Keegan Kelly hitting eighth at second. A ground ball to third, and under the glove of Dakota Chun. He'll be almost certainly charged with an error on a sharply hit ball by Gage, but Dakota just pulled the leather up too quickly, and indeed Dakota Chun charged with an error with 1 out. So instead of the 2 quick outs that quote-unquote should have occurred here, Walla Walla has an opportunity to get something going and try to take advantage of the extra out. Sam Kane, the batter. Troy Osborne is indeed batting seventh and catching. Keegan Kelly hitting eighth at second base. Logan Nakamura batting ninth, the designated hitter. The pitch on the way to Kane, a fly ball to straightaway center. Max Medina is right there to make the catch. So Micah Hagler, as Coach Brooke Knight described him in our pregame conversation, knows who he is, knows what he's all about, very confident, mature. Nothing really phases him. So after an error that put a man aboard, he just made the next pitch an out pitch. Quickly 2 down. And Gaines Hawson, the hitter, as we get underway at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Game 2 of the best-of-3 series. The Knights in a big way last night, 15-5. Fastball for a strike to Hawson. 0-1 the count. We'll give you the Knights lineup when they come to the plate in the bottom of the first, but they were all quite hitterish last night. 16 hits, with Diego Cruz, Maverick Russell, and Dakota Chun combining to go 9 for 14 with 11 runs batted in. A ground ball to the right of shortstop Ryan Severns. He moves to his right, picks up the baseball, and throws across to Ethan Porter. And that's that for Walla Walla in the top of the first. No runs, no hits, an error, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the first inning. The Sweets nothing. The Knights coming up back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Of the first inning, no score. Diego Cruz will lead things off for the Knights. The Knights' second baseman, future Beaver. One of his coaches in the ballpark tonight. The Beavers' new pitching coach, Andrew Moore, is in the house right below our vantage point. Just standing in the back of the Jack Riley concourse in Orange, visiting with someone. Great to see Andrew back at his alma mater, getting ready to work with the pitchers. And his wife, Taylor, former volleyball player at Oregon State, just gave birth to their fourth child, Maverick. Not the Maverick Russell spelling, but the old-fashioned Portland Maverick James Garner spelling of Maverick. Diego Cruz with a count of 1-1 strike. The 1-1 fastball just misses inside, ball 2 from DJ Kawahi, the starting pitcher for Walla Walla. Diego Cruz leading off at second base. Max Medina on deck, the center fielder. Ethan Porter batting third at first base. The 2-1 pitch to Diego on the inside corner for a strike. 2-2 the count. Maverick, M-A-V-E, Maverick Russell, the cleanup hitter and DH. Dakota Chun batting fifth at third base. Ryan Severns hitting sixth at short. 2-2 changeup to Diego. Soft liner at second baseman Keegan Kelly, who makes the catch. Diego was clearly a tough out last night. He's been a tough out since joining the Knights a little past the mid-season point. Diego was 4 for 6 last night with 4 runs batted in, hitting .354 since joining the Knights in mid-July up in Portland. Max Medina, the batter, 1 out, nobody on, no score. Bottom of the first. Max takes low and inside, ball 1, 1-0. Zane Garvey hitting 7th, the left fielder for the Knights tonight. Xavier Rios batting 8th and catching. Joey Morosco batting 9th at short. Micah Hagler has already gone to work, put up a 0 in the top of the first inning. Medina swings and hits one foul to the left and out of play. 1-1 strike to Max Medina. Ethan Porter on deck. The 1-1 pitch just misses from DJ Kawahi. 2-1 strike the count. Kawahi working with his battery mate Troy Osborne. Comes back with a 2-1 pitch that pops in and out of Osborne's mitt. The count goes 3-1 to Max Medina. Ethan Porter, the on-deck hitter. 3-1 strike. The right-hander Kawahi to the plate and misses. Down and in for ball 4. And Ethan Porter will be the hitter.
Now batting for the Knights from Oregon State University, first baseman number 27, Ethan Porter.
Ethan Porter, who had another good ball game and a series of them last night, comes to the plate. Diego Cruz led the way, 4 for 6 with 4 runs batted in. Maverick Russell had 4 runs batted in. Dakota Chun with 3. Ethan Porter, first ball swinging, hits one foul back of the plate into Urchin Alley. No balls and 1 strike. Porter had 2 hits. Zane Garvey had 2 hits. Joey Morosco scored a couple of runs. A team effort to be sure, with the Knights dominating the opener 15-5, hoping to get off to a good start here tonight. A 1-out walk to Max Medina. Ethan Porter at the plate, no balls and a strike. Out of the stretch works Kawahi, breaking ball in there. And the count 0-2 to Ethan Porter. DJ Kawahi getting the start in this elimination game chosen by head coach Leo Rivera and the pitching coach Corey Keir for this important game to try to keep Walla Walla's season alive. The strike 2 pitch to Porter, lined into center field, coming in a hurry and making a sprawling diving catch. Sam Kane, good play. He fires the ball back in. Well struck by Ethan, but an excellent catch by center fielder Sam Kane. And with 2 down, that'll bring Maverick Russell to the plate. Kawahi is making just his 6th appearance. He started 4 games, 2-1 with an ERA of 3.12. He's worked 28 innings coming into tonight's playoff outing. The first pitch to Maverick Russell misses just outside, ball 1, 1-0. With 2 down now as Brooke Knight goes through his signs at third base. Marcus Matias coaching at first. With 2 away, I fully expect Max Medina to be on the move to try to get into scoring position for Maverick, who had 4 RBIs last night. The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike. The count 1-1 to Maverick Russell, finishing the season on an absolute tear, getting healthy, which was the biggest thing, and choosing to stay in Corvallis. A really strong commitment on Maverick's part to not go home for his rehabilitation on his knee, but he worked here, worked out here, did his rehab stuff here, maintaining his connection to the team all along. And in a recent conversation with Maverick on one of our live streams, he expressed his appreciation for Coach Knight, for the culture here, for the fans, and stayed here to get himself ready, and he's been red hot. 346 with 29 RBIs. Medina goes. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second is not in time. Max Medina does indeed pick up a stolen base, and that steal is brought to you by our friends at Pape Material Handling. Once again, Pape and the Knights have teamed up to contribute $25 apiece for every Knight stolen base in the summer of 2026. Maverick Russell took the pitch intentionally. He's a good enough 2-strike hitter that he felt he could do that. Now has a chance to drive Medina in, down in the count 1-2. He checks and takes low and in on the breaking ball. And that evens the count to Maverick. 2 balls and 2 strikes. University of California, Santa Barbara bound, transferring out of UCLA, and just a really gracious young man. He had nothing. He just said, hey, I'm glad I went to UCLA. Great experience, learned a lot there. Now he's going to have further opportunities with the Gauchos. He checks his swing at a breaking ball and takes down and in. Ball 3, 3-2. Another strong plate appearance from Maverick Russell, now with a count of 3-2 and 2 down. Trying to find a hole somewhere and get the Knights on top early again. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 down. DJ Kawahi to the plate. The 3-2 pitch misses. Down and away, ball 4. It's a really good plate appearance from Maverick Russell. And now Dakota Chun will be the hitter. Dakota has been another strong addition for the stretch run that has seen the Knights win 5 consecutive series and 12 of their last 16 overall. Chun playing now in his 18th game, .338 with 19 runs batted in. The left-hand hitting catcher playing third base tonight with 2 on and 2 out, no score, bottom of the first. Kawahi to the plate, and the first pitch misses down and in. Ball 1, 1-0. Two walks in the inning. The Knights hoping to take advantage with the left-hand hitting Dakota Chun working against DJ Kawahi. 1 ball and no strikes. Kawahi comes set. 6'1", 200-pound right-hander out of Hawaii delivers to Dakota Chun, who swings and hits one foul to the left and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. And my only assumption is, seeing 2 young men from the state of Hawaii, that they must, this is probably not their first encounter with one another on the diamond. 1 ball, 1 strike. with 2 on and 2 outs, no score. The pitch on the way to Dakota goes off the mitt of the catcher, Troy Osborne, and both Knights runners advance 90 feet on the pass ball. Max Medina into third, Maverick Russell to second. And Dakota Chun, who has been red hot in terms of driving runs in, has a chance to plate 2 here with a 2-out hit. No score in the bottom of the first inning. The Walla Walla Sweets joined the West Coast League in 2010. The following year, the Knights and Walla Walla played each other for the West Coast League Championship, with the Knights winning both games 14-3 and 11-4. Ryan Gorton homering in both of those games. That was a really strong ball club for the Knights, featuring the likes of Jace Fry, Jimmy Sherfy, Ben Wetzler, Gordo, all on the same Knights club, winning a championship. Their second, Brooke Knight second in the summer of 2011. 2 balls and 1 strike to Dakota. He swings at a fastball, fouls it straight back. 2-2 the count. Now, speaking of Andrew Moore, who continues to watch the game just below our vantage point, he was supposed to be on that, not so much that club, but he was ticketed to come to the Corvallis Knights the year before in 2013. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on and 2 out. A ground ball to right. Keegan Kelly with Dakota rolling over on it, fields and throws to first to get Dakota Chun. The Knights threaten no runs, no hits, and 2 left in scoring position. The Knights come up empty in the bottom of the first. Andrew was supposed to be a Corvallis Knight in the summer of 2013. He went 14-2 as a freshman and helped the Beavers go to Omaha, and he was shut down after that extensive work back in the spring of 13. Great to see him here tonight, back at his alma mater, watching playoff baseball with the rest of us. We go to the second. Walla Walla nothing, the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
No score to the top of the second inning. Game 2 of the South Division West Coast League Playoff Series. Micah Hagler's first pitch missing to Royce Hale. The 1-0 pitch is chopped foul to first base coach Brandon Cabrera. Good for Brandon, beginning his coaching career with Walla Walla after wrapping up his playing career with Gonzaga this past spring. Head coach Leo Rivera calls the offense from the coaching box at third. Hagler runs his off-speed pitch away to Royce Hale. 1 ball and 1 strike to the left-hand hitting Hale. No score in the top of the second inning. Hale out of Kyle Novak country, a former Corvallis Knight, Marysville, Washington. Hagler comes back to the plate. Micah, the pride of Seattle U, misses. And he's behind the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. No score, top of the second inning. The 3 1 pitch on the way, swung on and chopped foul at the plate by Royce. Big rip by Hale. That runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the second inning. Hale's had a good summer. 309, a couple of homers, 24 runs batted in for Royce. Should there be a Game 3 necessary tomorrow, Bryce Hill would get the baseball for the Knights in the winner-take-all game. The pitch to Hale, hit foul off third. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Micah Hagler getting the opportunity to go deep into the game and give the Knights a chance to wrap up the series, give themselves a couple of days to get ready for the South Division Championship game. The 3-2 pitch, a 2-hopper to the right of Severance. He backhands in the hole, fires to first, safe, says the first base umpire, Clayton Kellogg. Brooke Knight doesn't think so, and Brooke takes a couple of steps out in front of the dugout. That's his indicator that he thought Clayton Kellogg missed the call. It was very close. An infield single for Royce Hale to lead matters off for the Walla Walla Swedes. And Bo Stinson will be the hitter. Micah Hagler, 6'4", 220, the pride of Burien, Washington. Went to Kennedy Catholic High School in Burien. The right-hander comes set, working on Bo Stinson, the right-hand hitting right fielder and grandson of a former Mariner catcher. Big doings tonight at T-Mobile Park with respect to the Mariners and their history. I believe tonight's the night the top 50 Mariners of all time will be introduced. Bo takes a strike in the count 0-1. Bo's grandfather, Bob Stinson, was the Mariners' first regular catcher of record back in 1977. Royce Hale, the infield single, no balls and a strike to Bo Stinson, no score, top of the second inning. The 0-1 pitch, a wild one, and Royce Hale down to second on the wild pitch, bouncing away from Xavier Rios. An opportunity here now for the visiting Swedes with a runner at second and nobody out to try to execute the game properly and get the early lead here tonight. They were in a deep hole early last night. Stinson at 237, 5 homers, 16 runs batted in. Micah Hagler comes set. The 1-1 pitch, a ground ball back up the middle, knocked down into shallow center by Diego Cruz. Royce Hale rounds third and scores. And Walla Walla leads it 1-0. The call at first base looms large here now because that call could have gone either way on the bang-bang play. If he's out, everything about this inning and the life that we're sharing together on this 8th of August, 2026 would feel different. But instead, it's 1-0 Walla Walla. Good execution on the part of Bo Stinson to get the run home. Hale advancing on a wild pitch, scoring on the single up the middle. And that brings Troy Osborne to the plate. Osborne out of Grants Pass High School. Played 17 games for the University of Portland this past spring. Had 1 hit, but he made it count. It was a home run. He takes ball 1, 1-0. 1-0 Swedes. Hagler back to the plate. The 1-0 pitch runs inside. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. The top 50, and I'm not sure exactly what the methodology was in terms of arriving. If they count them down, introduce them, starting with number 50 and working their way to 1, I have no idea. I'm hoping Sydney, I've asked her, a la Happer and Burt in Local Hero, I want reports. I'm hoping to get reports from Seattle. The pitch in there in the count 2-1 to Troy Osborne, 1-0 Sweets in the second. The 2-1 breaking ball lifted foul off to the right and out of play. That evens the count at 2-2. Certainly there will be, there's no mystery with respect to number 1. If you count, 50, 49, 40, you're going to hear a lot of names from a lot of different eras. There will be the usual suspects within that top 5. But number 1, there's no question, right? The pitch on the way, swung out and missed, strike 3. The first out of the inning, Troy Osborne going after an off-speed pitch, and Keegan Kelly, the second baseman, will be the hitter.
Second baseman, number 2, Keegan Kelly.
Keegan Kelly with one out and a man on and a run in. Stepping in, he's a young man out of Meridian, Idaho, and Lower Columbia College. He swings and fouls the fastball straight back. 0-1 the count. There are, in most franchises, I would imagine, I was thinking about this earlier today, the Mariners will announce their top 50 players of all time in their 50th anniversary year. And there's just no question. I mean, in the end, Ken Griffey Jr. will get the longest, loudest, most sustained ovation without any question that he's the greatest Mariner of all time, right? I mean, no question. The pitch missing down and in. What other franchises have that clear cut of a guy in their history? The 1-1 pitch, slider up, ball 2, 2-1. I would be interested, this is not a Joe Beaver talk show for you to call. Well, I can tell, because when you get to the Yankees, to me, it's still the Bambino, no matter how great others have been. It would be the Bambino, right? The 2-1 pitch, a check swing, but Keegan Kelly went around in the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1-0. Top of the second inning, a run in for the Sweets with Bo Stinson at first, held on by Ethan Porter. And the San Francisco Giants, again, there's no question, right? The 2-2 pitch just outside, ball 3, 3-2. The Braves, Henry, Ted Williams for the Red Sox, Willie for the Giants. I mean, there are certain people you just, but there are other franchises where you got to think about it a little bit. The 3-2 pitch on the way, fastball foul back. For example, I wonder about the Dodgers. Probably Koufax, right? Right? But there's an argument for Jackie on a lot of levels too, but that's a tougher one. More clear cut with the Braves and the Giants. The Pirates, Roberto, probably, yeah. Huge lead at first for Bo Stinson, and Hagler times it perfectly, throws to Ethan Porter to pick him off. Now to Ryan Severance, who runs back Stinson, and the throw to Hagler. Hagler makes the tag, and Bo is picked off. 1-3-6-1. 2 down. Aaron's easy. Mays, easy. Right? So I'm just wondering, I'm curious if you have any input along those lines. You get to some of these franchises, the 3-2 pitch just outside to Keegan Kelly, ball 4. But who would you go with the Dodger? Eileen Koufax. The Mets. Some of the younger franchises in the history of the game. The Milwaukee Brewers, Kansas City Royals, George Brett. I mean, the Mariners are introducing their top 50 of all time. The pitch on the way to Logan Nakamura, a fly ball to right center field, a long run, and diving is Max Medina. The ball goes in and out of his glove. Great effort. Keegan Kelly rounds third and scores, and Nakamura into third with a triple. And the Sweets, intent on playing tomorrow, lead it 2-0. Kyler Bittner will be the hitter. Brooke Knight comes out to see if the center fielder, Max Medina, who made a tremendous diving, sprawling effort to try to make a circus-type catch, make sure that he's okay. Great effort by Max out in center. He gets up a little gingerly and kind of heads back to his position somewhat slowly, and a little worse for the wear, but tough kid. He'll carry on. 2-0, Walla Walla. Kyler Bittner, the batter. Now, the Knights have been swinging the bats extremely well, so one figures at 2. They can fight their way back from that, but they, just from a psychological standpoint, the visiting Sweets facing elimination get off to the better start than the home team Knights and have a chance to make it a 3-run frame. Kyler Bittner, who opened the game by popping out to Ethan Porter, takes a strike, 0-1 the count. The 0-1 pitch, the home plate umpire J.T. Rentschler flinched. You call him the flinchler, but he didn't raise the right arm, and the count goes to 1-1. The call to open the inning changes the complexion of this inning tremendously. The 1-1 pitch is grounded up the middle into center field. No play, an attempt by Diego Cruz to shovel to Severns, hoping that Ryan might have a play. There is no play, and the Knights are down 3-0. So is this going to be the season in microcosm tonight and tomorrow? And a mysterious kind of game. Well, what's going on? The Knights don't lose playoff games at home. Well, they're down 3-0 in the first, and they haven't lost. But maybe, just maybe, in a season that's been the most unusual in franchise history, they're going to have to do it in a kind of different way. One would have thought, quite honestly, that given the pounding they administered last night, that they'd be in great shape to come just kind of keep that momentum rolling. The pitch to Reeser, blasted to center. Max Medina backpedals shy of the warning track, makes the catch, and the inning is over. However, the visiting Walla Sweets serve notice they are just not simply going to roll over for the 10-time champion Knights. They get an infield single on a very close play at first that opened the inning up, and they took advantage of it. They score 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left. So the Knights need to find the comeback trail. We go to the bottom of the second, 3-0. Walla Walla back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Pups got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
The Knights trail 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. The 1-0 pitch, though, to Ryan Severns is whacked into left field. Base hit over the head of Kyler Bittner, who was even with the bag at third and flinched a bit himself when the line drive came off the bat directly in the path of the sun and didn't get the glove raised up enough to make a play. A leadoff single for Ryan Severns. With the Knights hoping to kind of get on their own comeback trail here in the bottom of the second. Zane Garvey, the batter. Zane takes high and away, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. DJ Kawahi getting the start. And has been staked now to a 3-run lead in this elimination game for the Walla Walla Sweets. The 1-0 pitch, Zane tied up by it, swings half-heartedly, and doesn't get it. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Kawahi reading his battery mate, Troy Osborne. Ryan Severns held on at first by Gaines Hawson. Garvey takes a fastball for a strike. The count 1-2. Gaines Hawson at first, Keegan Kelly at second, Gage Reeser at short, Kyler Bittner at third, with Royce Hale in left, Sam Kane in center, and Bo Stinson in right. 3 big runs in the top of the second for Walla Walla, trying to extend their season and winner-take-all game tomorrow. Garvey swings and misses, strike 3, 1 away. If there is a game 3 tomorrow, it would be at 6:05. Note that normally Sunday games have been at 5:05. Tomorrow our start time would be 6:05 for a decisive game 3. The winner would play again on Tuesday. If it's the Knights, they play here for the South Division Championship against either Ridgefield or Portland. Xavier Rios, the batter. Severns hopping away from the bag at first. Xavier takes high and inside from DJ Kawahi. 1 ball and no strikes the count. 3-0 Walla Walla. Bottom of the second inning. Kawahi from the stretch fires over to first, and Ryan Severns back under the watchful eye of first base coach Marcus Matias. Really good crowd for an unscheduled game. Looks to be well over 1,000 in attendance tonight, and should there be a decisive game 3, hope that you'll find your way into the ballpark again. Severns goes. He got a huge jump. The pitch is a strike, and the throw to second is not in time. Severns stealing it on DJ Kawahi. No shot for Troy Osborne. And that is another stolen base for the Knights, brought to you by Papay Material Handling. Xavier Rios with an RBI opportunity here. A count of 1 ball and 1 strike, trying to lead the way for the Knights. Down 3-0, hoping to chip away at that deficit here early. Bottom of the second inning. Kawahi's 1-1 pitch taken for a strike, and the count 1-2. Joey Morosco on deck. The Knights making the playoffs for a 19th consecutive time. Down 3-0 here in the bottom of the second. The 1-2 pitch is down and away to even the count to Xavier. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it was Walla Walla that last administered a series loss to the Knights. On July 19th, a rousing 9-1 win here over the Knights to win the series. The Knights were 7-5, a pedestrian 7-5 in the second half, but that was sort of the nadir. They took off from there, and they've won 12 of their last 16. Fastball on the outside corner. Strike 3 called, 2 down. Good pitch by DJ Kawahi, and that'll bring Joey Morosco to the plate. 3-0 Sweets. So with 15 games remaining after that 7-5 defeat to Walla Walla here about 3 weeks ago, 15 games left, 5 3-game series. The Knights won them all. Won a sweep, 4 other series wins, and a win last night in playoff baseball at Borleski Stadium in the great Walla Walla Valley. Now down here in the Mid-Willamette Valley, where we've been blessed to see the skies clearing the last couple of days. The first pitch is outside to Joey Morosco, ball 1, 1-0. But it's the Sweets who've taken the fight to the Knights here early in Corvallis. 3-0 in the second. 2 outs. Severns at second base. The 1-0 pitch to Joey is in there for a strike. The versatile one, Joey Morosco. He's pitched a couple of games. He's played shortstop. He's played center field, right field, left. He's been all over. And now looking for a hit that'll just kind of, pick everybody's spirits up. A 2-out hit to try to get Severns home. Tough Sunfield for Royce Hale out and left. The pitch is in there for a strike. And the count goes to 1-2. The Knights are taking quite a few pitches for strikes here early. Last night, clearly they were on the attack. 15 runs and 16 hits. A bit more of a subdued start here tonight for the Knights offensively, down 3-0. Bottom of the second, 1-2 to Joey Morosco. DJ Kawahi to the plate, fastball just outside. A big whoop from the Walla Walla dugout on the first base side, thinking they were about to celebrate a called third strike. but the pitch adjudged to be just outside by J.T. Rentschler. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. 3-0 Sweets, bottom of the second inning. Ryan Severns gets his lead from second. Kawahi's 2-2 pitch, a ground ball slowly to short. Gage Reeser charges, gloves, throws, and gets him, and the inning is over. For the Knights in the second, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. The Knights have left 3 in scoring position through 2. And after 2, Walla Walla trying to keep its season alive. The Sweets 3, the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Center fielder number
3-0 Walla Walla as we go to the top of the third inning. Micah Hagler gave up 4 hits last inning. The first one, a controversial infield single that opened the door to a 3-run frame. He throws a breaking ball strike to Sam Kane to begin the third. Sam plied to center field in his first at-bat. The strike 1 fastball under the hands of Sam, who swings and misses. No balls and 2 strikes to Sam Kane. An all-star this summer for the Walla Walla Sweets out of Reno. Swings and pops one up on the left side. Going out is Dakota Chun. Ryan Severns, the shortstop, takes charge, backs up, and backhands the pop fly. A tougher play for Chun, backpedaling and dealing with the sun. A better angle for Severns. 1 away in the top of the third, and Gaines Hawson will be the hitter. Gaines Hawson out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and attends Cumberland University in Lebanon, Tennessee. So he's a long way from home. Gaines takes a breaking ball strike. 0-1 the count. 3-0 Walla Walla. Top of the third inning. Beautiful night for baseball. Hagler kicks and comes back with the 0-1 breaking ball, stroke to left field, base hit. And 5 hits now for Walla Walla. Gaines Hawson getting a bit of a hanger, and Micah is not as sharp as he has generally been. He's had a very good summer for the Corvallis Knights, coming in fact, 1-0 with an ERA of 1.64. Had worked 11 innings prior with a walk and 11 strikeouts. But 3 runs on the board for Walla Walla early, and they get a 1-out single here. First ball swinging, a ground ball slowly behind the mound and no play. Royce Hale was the scheduled hitter, but Walla Walla's well, they must have made a lineup change. Logan Nakamura swinging and getting a swinging bunt single. There must have been a late lineup change that was not communicated to yours truly. Bo Stinson, the batter. I had Royce Hale in that slot, so I may have to. I'm going to have to do some flipping and changing around. My apologies. Bo Stinson is at the plate with two. They had Logan in my sheet in the 9-hole as the designated hitter, and I have him getting the triple last inning. But looking here now, the original lineup must have been changed at the last moment somehow, some way. So we'll get it squared away with Brooks Hatch within the McGrath family press box. Royce Hale aboard on the infield single, just clearing the mound, and now 6 hits for the Sweets. The pitch to Bo Stinson, a strike, and the count 1-1. Bo, an RBI single last inning, has a chance for another one here. He takes a strike, however, and is down in the count 1-2. Gaines Hawson at second, Royce Hale at first. Logan Nakamura, pardon me, at first base. They must have transposed those guys. I'll check it out here momentarily. 1-2 the count to Bo Stinson. Breaking ball grounded towards Diego Cruz. Shovels to Severance for one. On to first for a double play to retire the side. 4-6-3 double play ball. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left for Walla Walla. We go to the bottom of the third. The Sweets 3, the Knights nothing. Back. I'm going to take 2 here to get caught up on things. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. The pride of Carolina, Puerto Rico, speaking of Clemente, is Roberto, the greatest Pirate, probably. Diego takes a strike with the Knights down 3-0. The 0-1 pitch rolled foul past Marcus Matias. No balls and 2 strikes. Diego popped out in his first at-bat. DJ Kawahi, and we'll get the lineup sorted here in a moment. The strike 2 pitch, Diego pokes one foul. Off to the left and out of play. So, I called the McGrath family press box to my left. Brooks Hatch dutifully picked up and said, yes, there was a lineup change that they didn't know about in the box until after it happened. There was no information given, and so we just kind of found out about it when there was the change in the second inning. We began, so I'll give it to you here in a moment. Diego Cruz is all tied up by the pitch from Kawahi. Tried to check his swing, but went around and strikes out. Max Medina, the batter. Max drew a walk in the first inning. 3-0 Walla Walla, bottom of the third. So Logan Nakamura, who was originally listed as the designated hitter in the 9th hole, moved up and replaced Royce Hale. Hale had been listed as the left fielder batting 5th. Nakamura now the DH in the 5 hole. Max Medina takes the first pitch strike from DJ Kawahi. The 0-1 pitch foul back. 0-2 the count to Medina, who walked in the first inning. And then in the 9th hole, where Logan Nakamura had been slotted as the DH, Logan now batting 5th, the DH. Ronan Schofield in left field, batting 9th. And it was Schofield who delivered the big triple for a run batted in as part of that 3-run second for the Sweets. The 1-2 pitch missing to Max Medina, ball 2, 2-2. 3-0 Sweets, bottom of the 3rd inning. If the Knights do not come back to win, we'll see you here tomorrow night at 6:05 for the winner-take-all game. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 down. 4 of the last 5 outs have been strikeouts for DJ Kawahi. The Knights have yet to solve them. Ethan Porter, the batter. Ethan lined out to center field in the first, a diving catch by Sam Kane. The Knights have left 3 men on in scoring position through the first 2 innings. They hope to have a chance to at least do that much, but it's doubtful. Porter, a fly ball to right field. Moving over to catch it is Bo Stinson. And DJ Kawahi has stymied the Knights through 3. The Knights go in order quickly, and after 3, Walla 3, and the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. McColeman Field. A between innings promotion here, the bubble joust as they call it, has resulted in a fan, a season ticket holder, coming up a little bit sore and a cut on his head. And he comes up, though, whoever the fan is, he's a season ticket holder for the Knights, I'm told, comes up looking a little bit like Y.A. Tittle in the famous photograph in I think in Yankee Stadium. Y.A. Tittle on his knees with his bald head. Yelverton Abraham Tittle. Have you seen that photo? You could look it up. Famous photos of Y.A. Tittle with gashes on his head at the end of a game. Whoever took the photograph isolated Y.A. like he was the only person on the field. It's an incredible photograph as sports photographs go. But this guy gets up, whoever he is, with cuts on his beautiful bald head. But he came up smiling with his thumbs up in the air as if to say, hey, I'm fine. Good for him, but a little bit of an injury in the bubble joust promotion, which is fun and popular, and people enjoy doing it. He wanted to do it, but he comes up smiling even though he's got a couple of cuts up there. through 3 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Walla Walla 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. The Knights no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error. Micah Hagler going to work in the 4th and jumps ahead of Troy Osborne 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, a breaking ball and a check swing, no swing, says Clayton Kellogg. 1-2 the count. That bubble joust elicits every time you see the combatants bang into each other in that protective bubble. You hear the whole crowd go, ooh, ah, because it looks like it would hurt. It looks like you could get hurt, and we just saw a fan needing a little bit of help, but he got up under his own power and walked off smiling with his thumbs up to the crowd. But a little bit of a frightening moment with quite a serious juiced here at the ballpark. Osborne rolls 1 foul, 1-2 the count. Top of the 4th, 3-0 Walla Walla. Hagler to the plate, off speed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Micah's second strikeout. He's been touched for 6 hits. Keegan Kelly, the second baseman, the batter. Keegan drew a walk and scored a run in the Sweets' 3-run second. The pitch to Keegan, fisted slowly on the turf towards Diego Cruz, who charges, gloves, and overhands to Ethan Porter. 2 down in the top of the 4th inning, and that'll bring Ronan Schofield to the plate. Ronan, a late addition to the lineup. When he came to the plate in the 2nd inning, we were all sort of surprised to see his presence at the dish. And then he further surprised the fans here by launching a ball to the alley in right center field. Max Bonino laid out to try to pull it in and wasn't able to. It went for a triple for Schofield. He takes ball 1 from Hagler. Now swings at the 1-0 pitch. A ground ball to the left of Cruz from shallow right. Whirls around and throws to Ethan Porter. Good stretch by Ethan, and the inning is over. Hagler gets his first 1-2-3 inning. Ronan Schofield hit the ball hard again. The young man out of Kirkland, Washington, has a triple and was robbed of a hit there by Diego, a guy heading up to fellow Pac-12 school in the new era, Washington State, out of Juanita High School in Kirkland. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Walla Walla 3, the Knights nothing, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Three 0 Walla Walla, bottom of the 4th inning. Game 2 of the South Division playoff series. The Sweets trying to force a decisive Game 3 tomorrow. The first pitch to Maverick Russell misses inside from a guy that's been excellent, DJ Kawahi. The 1-0 pitch misses down and in, ball 2. The Knights have just 1 hit. It was Ryan Severns with a base hit to left. Walla Walla with a 3-run second. 3 runs and 6 hits for the Swedes. The 2-0 pitch to Maverick, taken for a strike. The count 2-1. The 2-1 pitch, Russell strokes it to the gap into right center field. This will be extra bases for Maverick, and maybe 3 of them. Bo Stinson chases the ball down. Maverick on his way to third. The throw is not in time. Maverick Russell, a leadoff triple as the Knights try to poke their way back into this ball game. Maverick had a big game last night to help the Knights to a decisive 15-5 victory. Maverick gets his first triple of the season for the Knights. It's a leadoff 3-bagger. Dakota Chun comes to the plate against his fellow Hawaiian DJ Kawahi. The infield plays back for the Swedes. They have the luxury of that, up 3-0. Dakota swings and fouls the first pitch into the mid of Troy Osborne. 0-1 the count. 3-0 Swedes, but a leadoff triple from Maverick Russell, giving the Knights a good look at least getting something on the board. Good fastball in there from Kawahi. Touching 91, and DJ is ahead of the count 0-2. Kawahi and Troy Osborne, the battery. Gaines Hawson at first, Keegan Kelly at second, Gage Reeser at short, Kyler Bittner at third, Ronan Schofield in left, Sam Kane in center, Bo Stinson in right. The strike 2 pitch is in the turf. Troy Osborne keeps it in the neighborhood, holding at third base. Maverick Russell. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. The Knights and Swedes met in the playoffs in August of 2019 as well. Some memorable names in that encounter. The 1-2 pitch to Chun. Fastball got him swinging. Dakota is 0 for 2. 1 away. Ryan Severns, the batter. The 2 Jakes led the way in that 2019 playoff game in August of 19. Jake Holcroft, 3 for 5. And Jake Harvey, a 2-run home run. Tavita Gerber got the win. Connor Knutson the save. And the Knights ended up, that was the decisive game in that playoff series in August of 2019. The pitch in there for a strike, so this is the 3rd time around in postseason play for these 2 franchises. The strike 1 pitch taken low by Ryan, the count 1-1. The Knights have prevailed in the other 2 in 2011 en route to a championship, and in 2019, part of that 7 year in a row run for the Knights, 16-23. Walla Walla leading 3-0. Maverick Russell at third, bottom of the 4th inning. A dunker into shallow right center field, a leaping catch made by Keegan Kelly out in right center. Excellent play, 2 down. Maverick Russell stays at third, and that'll bring to the plate Zane Garvey. Would have been interesting to see with Maverick kind of going a third of the way down the line. Had he actually chosen to tag, Kelly laid out, he was close enough that he could lay out, pop up off the turn, and make a play to the plate. I'm not sure that Brooke would have sent Maverick. I doubt it. 2 down. And DJ Kawahi, after yielding a triple to open the inning, is an out away from putting up another 0, which would be another indication that we may have baseball here tomorrow night, 6:05. And then the pressure then kind of falls on the home team with the expectation, hey, you're at home, you're supposed to win. The 1-0 pitch to Garvey, a strike, and the count 1-1. So the Knights have some work to do if they want to wrap this thing up tonight before an excellent crowd on a gorgeous Sunday night or Saturday evening for baseball. That was not Freudian. Maverick Russell at third, 2 down. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Garvey, fastball foul back. Excellent work by DJ Kawahi. If he puts up a 0 here after leading off the frame with Maverick Russell tripling, that's just outstanding work by Kawahi, and he's a strike away from getting it done. 1-2 to Zane Garvey, who struck out on his first at-bat. Kawahi's 1-2 pitch. Zane has struck out on his second at-bat, and Kawahi has elicited a huge roar from his teammates within the dugout. How about that? A leadoff triple and nothing for the Knights to show for it. Good swing by Maverick, but he's left at third, and at the end of 4, Walla Walla 3 and the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
No matter what team you're on, no matter where you explore, there's a Richardson for you. We don't just give you our word, we give you our name. We started over 50 years ago as a hometown sporting goods business, with a particular devotion to America's pastime. As we grew, so did demand for our products, both on and off the field of play. Today we serve teams, brands, and businesses. And we've earned our reputation as the best. We did it through our devotion to our craft and our customers. We've built our business on the spirit of competition and the thrill of adventure, with a relentless focus on details and an enduring commitment to quality in every stitch. We've set a high bar for ourselves because you've made our team part of your team. And your team deserves the best.
Walla as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Kyler Bittner, Gage Reeser, and Sam Kane, the scheduled hitters for the Sweets. Bittner, the leadoff hitter for Walla Walla, has popped out and had an infield single for a run batted in. He takes high and inside from Micah. Hagler's gone all the way. He's given up 6 hits, all 3 runs in the second inning. The Knights have yet to score, just 2 hits. Micah kicks and comes back with a 1-0 pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. 1-1 to Kyler Bittner with Gage Reeser next. Bittner out of St. Francis High School in Sunnyvale, attends Fresno State after a run at Kenyatta Junior College. 1 ball and 1 strike. Micah back to the plate, just outside. Ball 2, 2-1. If the Knights do prevail in this series, whether tonight or tomorrow, they would host Tuesday against either Portland or Ridgefield. The Knights, with their hot finish, got out of kind of the doldrums, the lethargy of, for them, a less than usual kind of run to win down the stretch and clinch home field in this series and in the divisional championship game. A fly ball to center. Moving in is Max Medina to make the catch. Kyler Bittner retired, 1 away. Gage Reeser, who's been aboard on an error and fly to center, coming to the plate.
Now at the plate, shortstop number 44, Gage Reeser.
The Knights with a huge win last night at Borleski, a ballpark that's been around now for 100 years, opening in 1926. Good baseball town, to be sure. The pitch on the way, lifted foul off first. Moving over is Ethan Porter. Ethan has a play and just kind of nonchalantly reaches out to grab the fly in foul grounds. 2 down, and Sam Kane will be the hitter. I was intrigued to learn that there at one time was a team in the league. I like the sound of the league and certainly the team name. The old Pacific Interstate League, part of Walla Walla's baseball history. They had a team in that league from 1891 through 1908. That's a ways back. And they were known as the Walla Walla Wallace. Twice not enough. The first pitch in there for a strike, the count 0-1. 2 down, nobody on. Sam Kane is flied to center, popped to short. The 0-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. Micah Hagler touched for 3 in the second, has put up zeros in each of the last 2 innings, is a strike away from retiring the side in order as he works on the sweet center fielder. Strike 2 breaking ball, though, is poked into center field. Base hit. Always a heck of a note for a pitcher to give up a hit on an 0-2 count. Got a little too much of the plate, and Sam Kane able to just reach out, flick the wrists, and get the base hit to center. Good piece of hitting by Kane. A teammate of Micah Hagler's at Seattle U. Micah shoots a glance over there. And that'll bring Gaines Hawson to the plate. A 2-out base hit for Micah's teammate, for Donnie Harrell at Seattle U. First pitch is in there for a strike to Gaines Hawson. 0-1 the count. Gaines is grounded to short and singled to left. Micah's strike 1 pitch, fastball in there, strike 2. 0-2 the count to Gaines Hawson. The Mariners are celebrating their 50th, as we've talked about, all weekend long and all season long. A line drive to short from Walla, right-hand hitting first baseman Gaines Hawson. Ryan Severns the catch, and the inning is over. I came across something today that I'd never seen before with respect to Walla and the Mariners that I want to run by for your submission, with apologies to the great scenarist Rod Serling. Down go the Sweets in the 5th inning. A 2-out single from Sam Kane and nothing more. DJ Kawahi, channeling kind of some Felix Hernandez kind of work, goes back looking for another shutout inning to the bottom of the 5th after 4.5. 3-0 Ridgefield, Walla back in 90 on Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to...
Fifth inning, and the beat goes on for the Knights, which means there isn't much going on tonight offensively. Xavier Rios pops one up. The catcher, Troy Osborne, makes the catch. So in a year that has seen some really unusual kinds of developments, this is another one in that after pounding Walla Walla last night, there was an expectation coming in that they might just breeze to victory, get a couple of days off, and get ready for the South Division title game here Tuesday. Well, Walla Walla says, hey, wait a minute, what about us? What about me? Channeling their Ann Murray. And Xavier Rios pops out to open the inning. Now Joey Morosco takes ball one. The 1-0 pitch is lifted foul down the right field line. A long run for Keegan Kelly, Gaines Hawson, and the right fielder Bo Stinson. And in the end, a little too long, the ball landing under Casey Corner. And the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. We were arguing a little bit, Brooks Hatch and yours truly. He said Maverick Russell, if he would have tagged up on that little pop-up last inning after the triple, Brooks said, quote, he would have scored easily. Now, you know that I kicked that whole thing around after the little pop-up. I think probably it would have been best for him to get back on the bag and at least consider tagging and scoring, but I don't think it would have been as easy as Brooksy was suggesting. In that Keegan Kelly with a good athletic play, first of all. Also, when he made the catch, popped up immediately thinking that Maverick might be tagging. And he did it so quickly that I think there could have been a play at the plate anyhow. It's moot now. The pitch swung on and missed by Joey, and now he chases the 1-2 pitch for strike 3, 2 down. And I'm just a little bit bewildered by the Knights who've been swinging it so well by what's going on here tonight. But I shouldn't be, because I've been watching the game for 60 years, and it's baseball. 2 down. Diego Cruz, the hitter, has popped to second and struck out. According to an article about Walla Walla that I read today, the Kingdom's, the nickname for the wall in right field was the Walla Walla Wall. Now, I'd never heard that before. I listened to the great Dave Niehaus, who should be among those top 50, right? The 1-0 pitch, Diego runs up to slap, lifted foul off third, out of play, and the count 1-1. I'd be interested to know at the end of the night when the top 50 Mariners of all time are introduced whether Dave makes that list. Now, he was not a ball player, but when the Dodgers in Los Angeles in their 25th anniversary season voted the fans their favorite Dodger ever after 25 years in LA, it was that announcer guy that got the nod. Diego Cruz, a fly ball to right field. Bo Stinson is there to make the catch. Dave should be acknowledged in the top 50 Mariners of all time, I would think. But listening to Dave and Rick a lot through the years, I never heard anybody refer to the Walla Walla Wall, but according to an article on the internet, the wall in right field at the Kingdom was at least at one time known for a while as the Walla Walla Wall. True? True? I don't know. Anyway, the Knights go in order. That is true. And we go to the 6th. The Swedes 3, the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Top of the 6th inning, 3-0 Walla Walla. First ball swinging, a ground ball towards Diego Cruz off the bat of Logan Nakamura, and Diego fields and throws to first. Logan, heretofore, had been 2 for 2. And it was Logan who had the infield single that I think is the biggest play of the game. An infield single to short, a bang-bang play at first. Brooke Knight and others thought that Logan was out by a hair. The base umpire, Clayton Kellogg, said safe, and the inning was on. That call gets reversed or flipped. I don't think they score 3. They may not score at all. So that was a big moment in the game, and Logan Nakamura then came back with an infield single in the third. Grounds out here. Bo Stinson takes a strike. 0-1 the count. Bo swings and hits a line drive, backhanded by Ryan Severns. Diving to his right in the hole at short, 2 down. Well struck by Bo, who had singled home a run in the second, grounded into a double play in the third, robbed of a base hit here in the sixth. 2 outs, nobody on. The Swedes leading 3-0. Troy Osborne, who has been up twice and struck out twice against Micah Hagler, to the plate. Micah delivers, and the breaking ball foul back. No balls and 1 strike the count. Alex Yarrow arriving at the ballpark tonight. He's been here. He's always got his scorecard out. One of the great fans in the history of Knights baseball is here. The strike 1 pitch, stroke to the gap into left center field. That'll get down for a base hit up against the Pioneer Connect sign in left center. Osborne cruises into second with a 2-out double. The Knights have been out hit 8-2. They've been outscored 3-0, and it just has the feel that, hey, all this means is we get to see another ball game at Goss that we weren't necessarily planning on. That would be tomorrow. The winner, though, would win the series. So the pressure, it moves back to the Knights if it comes to that tomorrow. Walla has done an excellent job this evening, taking the fight to the Knights, leading 3-0. A 2-out hit and a chance to add to the lead with Keegan Kelly at the plate. Keegan takes a first pitch strike. 0-1 the count. The Knights have been handcuffed on an excellent performance by Walla right-hander DJ Kawahi. Micah Hagler's pitched pretty well. Had the rough patch in that second inning, but has put up zeros otherwise. He delivers here. Breaking ball pulled foul outside of third past coach Leo Rivera. Leo, an assistant for Micah Hagler and for Donnie Harrell at the Seattle University program. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Top of the sixth, 3-0 Swedes. Hagler to the plate. Breaking ball grounded to the hole at short. Backhanded by Severns. His throw to first is not in time on a hop. A better play would have been to try to go to third. He had no chance to get an out at first. And Severns, had he faked a throw to first and then gotten the ball to Dakota Chun covering at third, they might have been able to get an out on Osborne. So, with 2 outs, Troy Osborne at third, Keegan Kelly at first. Ronan Schofield, the batter, has tripled and grounded to first. Ryan has had a tremendous summer. I'm a little surprised at that decision there, though. There was no chance to get an out at first that deep in the hole. He did a good job to get to the ball. And I think had he pump faked a throw to first, Troy Osborne had gone. He'd committed too far. Would have been either caught at third trying to slide in or in a rundown. 0-1 the count, first and third, 2 down. The strike 1 pitch knocked down by Xavier Rios. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Ronan Schofield. With runners at the corners, 2 down, Keegan Kelly held on by Ethan Porter. Big situation for Micah Hagler and the Knights right here. The 1-1 pitch taken, down and in, ball 2, 2-1. With 2 outs, a double, an infield single, and the Swedes trying to add to their lead, and Micah's 2-1 pitch misses off speed and down. Ball 3-1. He's a pitch away from loading the bases for Kyler Bittner. Three balls and one strike, the count. The left-hand hitting Schofield being shaded way over by Zane Garvey, who's in the alley in left center field. A throw to first base. Back to the bag steps Keegan Kelly. Troy Osborne at third, Keegan Kelly at first. 3-1 to the left-hand hitting Ronan Schofield. Runner goes, pitches outside to load him up. That'll bring Kyler Bittner to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 down. And kind of a moment of truth for the Knights with respect to tonight's ball game. Bittner, the leadoff hitter, has popped to first, had an infield single for a run batted in, and flied to center. Bo Kearns, the pitching coach for the Knights, on his way to the mound with the game for the Knights, quite frankly, and their chances to win it kind of hanging on the line, dependent right here on whether Micah can find his way to what will probably be the final batter that he will face, trying to get Bittner and keep it a 3-run deficit. That about the Kingdom. So if any of you, Robert, if you're listening tonight, or anyone else, oh yeah, it could be one of those. No, yeah, everybody knows that. Okay. Not part of everybody. Micah Hagler's first pitch is low, ball 1-0 to Kyler Bittner. Bases loaded, 2 down. 3-0 Walla Walla. Gigantic moment in this ball game right here. And it all came with 2 outs. Troy Osborne a double, Keegan Kelly an infield single, a walk to Schofield, 1-0 to Bittner. Micah Hagler from the stretch delivers a ground ball back up the middle, fielded by Severns, juggled by Severns, recovers to throw to first and get Bittner to retire the side. That keeps the Knights very much alive. Good job by Micah, good play by Severns. And the Swedes come up empty. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 3. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Knights are still trying to solve the offerings of DJ Kawahi. It's been a futile effort thus far. They hope to change that as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Walla Walla 3, the Knights nothing, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Pope's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
DJ Kawahi to the plate. First pitch fastball to Max Medina, a strike. 0-1 the count. DJ really cruising tonight. The 0-1 pitch rolled up along first, foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Now the Knights have left 4 men on in scoring position, so they've had a couple of opportunities here and there, but for the most part, DJ Kawahi has baffled the Knights hitters. 7 strikeouts. Medina hits a chopper back of first, fielded by Gaines Hawson, runs into the bag ahead of Medina. 1 away in the bottom of the 6th. Ethan Porter has lined to center and flied to right. The catch made by Sam Kane in the first inning on the line drive by Porter was the other key play in the game. The infield single and the call at first, the biggest moment of the game. Logan Nakamura called safe on a close play at first that opened the door for the only runs of the game, 3 runs. But then when Ethan Porter in the first inning appeared to have an RBI base hit coming and the ball was caught by Kane, that's the other really big moment. 1-0 pitch to Ethan, a ground ball to short. He's thrown out, 2 down. Gage Reeser over to first. Maverick Russell, the batter. Maverick has walked and tripled. He tripled in the 4th to open the frame, and the Knights failed to score. So with 2 outs and nobody on, DJ Kawahi's dominance continues. Really a well-pitched game, one of the better ones against the Knights all season. In an elimination game, DJ pitching a beautiful ball game. His first pitch to Maverick Russell inside, ball 1, 1-0. No runs and 2 hits for the Knights. Ryan Severns has the other. Maverick a triple in his last at-bat, takes the 1-0, swings at the 1-0 pitch and hits it foul to the left and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. 3 colleges in Walla Walla: Whitman College, Walla Walla Community College, Walla Walla University. The Whitman School, named for Marcus and Narcissa Whitman, the mission established there in 1836. A tragic end, and the mission itself was closed after a tragic massacre event in 1847. In Walla Walla, part of between the Blue Mountains and the Palouse, beautiful part of the world. A fly ball into left center. Ronan Schofield over to make the catch. The Knights go quietly before a big but very quiet crowd here in the 6th inning. And it's great to have the Walla Walla Suites making the journey down here, and they want to stay around a little bit longer. Walla Walla is a Nez Perce term, a word for place of many waters. Beautiful town, community, over 130 wineries there, and good baseball. And they've given the Knights a great fight here tonight, trying to play their way into tomorrow. The Knights will make a change on the hill as we go to the 7th. Luke Duncan will take over. After 6, the Sweets 3 and the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Pups got the hookup too! Belly rubs included! Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, Walla Walla 3 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. The Knights, no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. Luke Duncan, the new pitcher for the Knights, delivers a fastball down and in to the Sweets Gage Reeser. Luke's 1-0 pitch is outside for ball 2. 2-0. Luke is making his fourth appearance. He's worked 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. The Oregon State-bound right-hander's 2-0 pitch misses high and away. Ball 3, 3-0. Leading matters off here in the top of the 7th inning. Micah Hagler touched for 3 runs in the second, the only runs of the game. Luke's 3-0 pitch, a strike. 3-1 the count. His pitching coach at Oregon State getting a look at him tonight, perhaps for the first time. Andrew Moore has been in the ballpark most of the evening. Duncan ready in the 3-1 pitch. Hit high in the air, foul off first. Ethan Porter moving over, and we'll watch this sail into the lower grandstand below the Jack Riley concourse. That runs the count full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Luke working with his battery mate Xavier Rios, with the Knights trailing 3-0 in the 7th. The 3-2 pitch lifted to right and pretty deep. Joey Morosco backpedaling, gets there just shy of the warning track to make the catch. Good read by Joey, nice play, 1 away. Sam Kane, the hitter. Luke Duncan working with Xavier Rios, his battery mate. Ethan Porter at first base, Diego Cruz at second, Ryan Severns at short, Dakota Chun at third. In the outfield for the Knights, Zane Garvey in left, Max Medina in center, and Joey Morosco in right. Another fly ball to deep right. Again, Joey back, and again, Joey there to make the catch. 2 down. Coach Knight referred to the friendly confines for pitchers in this ballpark in our conversation before the game, that this is a much more forgiving yard than perhaps where they were last night at Borleski, but certainly where the Knights last were up in Ridgefield, a bandbox of a park, and that ball that we just saw would have been long gone in Ridgefield at the Rourke. Luke Duncan's first pitch missing for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 outs, nobody on in the 7th. Duncan works out of the stretch with nobody on, comes to the plate, swung on and fouled at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike with Luke Duncan trying to set down the Sweets 1, 2, 3 and hope that the Knights can begin to find a spark at the plate. They haven't yet. Down 3-0 in the 7th. The 1-1 pitch missing down and away. Ball 2, 2-1. And if the Knights are unable to rally and win, then we'll see you here tomorrow. It's a 6:05 game, remember, not the usual 5:05s that we're accustomed to on Sundays. 6:05 if there is a game 3 tomorrow to settle this series. Breaking ball misses, and the count goes to 3-1. The second 3-ball count in the inning for right-hander Luke Duncan. 6'2", 190 out of San Joaquin Delta College, and he misses with the 3-1 pitch for ball 4. He flirted with trouble to open the inning, falling behind 3-0, came back to get an out. Now with 2 outs, a walk to Gaines Hawson, and Logan Nakamura, the hitter, an infield single. 2 of them, in fact, and is grounded out. Luke out of the stretch, delivers, and the fastball is outside. Ball 1, 1-0. 3-0, Walla Walla Top of the 7th inning. Diego Cruz stationed a yard and a half or so out in shallow right straight away. Breaking ball misses a little bit high. Ball 2, 2-0. To the left-hand hitting Logan Nakamura. The 2-0 pitch. Logan takes a rip, doesn't get it, and the count 2-1. Walla scoring all 3 of its runs in the 2nd inning. Luke Duncan comes back to the plate and misses up and away. Ball 3, 3-1. Second baseman Diego Cruz, as I mentioned, out in shallow right. His Keystone partner Ryan Severns shading back up the middle, not directly behind the bag, but close for the left-hand hitting Logan Nakamura. Fastball sails up and away. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks with 2 outs issued by Luke Duncan. Bo Stinson, the batter. The hole really, the Knights just can't afford for it to get much deeper. So this is a big moment. I don't know if this is Xavier on his own or whether he's been told to go out and visit with Luke Duncan. But indeed, Xavier out for a chat with Luke Duncan. After 2 fly ball outs to open the inning, Luke has issued back-to-back walks to gain Hawson and Logan Nakamura, bringing Bo Stinson to the plate. Bo has singled home a run, grounded into a double play, and lined out. A good play by Ryan Severns at short. So once again, another moment wherein the Knights are just trying to stay in the fight. Down 3-0. 2 on and 2 out. The Sweets left the bases loaded last inning. Now 2 on and 2 out here in the 7th inning. The pitch on the way to Bo. Fastball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Luke Duncan, a guy that Bo Kearns, the pitching coach, Brooke Knight, the skipper, both have told me they think he's going to be a big help to Andrew Moore in the Oregon State program next spring. They like him a lot. The strike 1 pitch, slider in there, strike 2. 0-2 the count. Luke trying to get out of this 7th inning, keeping the Knights close. 2 outs, nobody on, to now 2 outs and 2 on after the back-to-back walks. But Luke is a strike away from putting up the 0. The right-hander ready, the 0-2 pitch, taps slowly to the right of the mound. Fielded by Luke Duncan, who will do it himself. Takes it to the bag, ahead of Bo Stinson for out number 3. So it's time for the Knights offense to kind of try to join the party. They have not been able to get really anything going, and it's DJ Kawahi who deserves all the credit. A 6-inning shutout thus far. DJ heads to the mound to try to keep it going as the fans rise to their feet for the 7th inning stretch. After 6.5, the Sweets 3, the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Dakota Chun, first ball swinging against DJ Kawahi, rolls it slowly foul up along third. No balls and 1 strike to Dakota. Bottom of the 7th inning, game 2 of the West Coast League South Division Series, with the Sweets leading the Knights 3-0, trying to force a decisive game 3 tomorrow. Dakota has grounded out and struck out. Kawahi strike 1 pitch, slow roller towards Keegan Kelly, charges gloves and throws out Dakota Chun. 1 away in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ryan Severns, who has singled to left and popped to second, will come to the plate. Ryan has one of the 2 hits, the other a triple from Maverick Russell. The Knights had a couple of chances early. They left 2 in scoring position in the first, another in the second, and 1 in the fourth, but very quiet since. Severns rolls 1 foul in front of his own dugout. No balls and a strike. The attendance tonight for game 2, 1,123. Most came anticipating a Knights celebration of sorts on the field. The Knights, with a victory tonight, would have a couple of days off. Wouldn't play until Tuesday again. That would be here against either Portland or Ridgefield. Severns fouls 1 away again. 0-2 the count. If they don't win tonight, they must needs win tomorrow to have a chance to play at home Tuesday again. An elimination game for both Walla Walla and the Knights tomorrow if this dominance by DJ Kawahi and the Sweets continues. They're up 3-0 in the 7th. The 1-2 pitch to Severns. Fastball hooked down the left field line. On the move to grab it is Ronan Schofield. 2 down. Zane Garvey to the plate. Zane has struck out twice. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the 7th. In a season where we have been mystified often about results, I suppose it's only fitting that even coming down the stretch, it's kind of a similar feeling. Ground ball to second, fielded by Keegan Kelly. And the Knights go in order and very quietly again. And in fact, since the triple by Maverick Russell to lead off the 4th, 12 straight retired by DJ Kawahi. So the opportunities diminishing for the Knights tonight. And the good news is that just means another baseball game in town tomorrow. That's the way we got to view it. We go to the 8th, 3-0 Walla Walla. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. We're ready. Don't I look ready, said Robert Duvall once in Lonesome Dove. I'm sure he was, and so are we, and here we go. Top of the 8th inning, 3-0 Walla Walla. Luke Duncan's first pitch fastball. Inside, ball 1. 1-0 to Troy Osborne. Troy has struck out twice and doubled to left. All 3 runs of this ball game scored by the Sweets back in the second. The 1-0 pitch from Luke misses, down and away, ball 2, 2-0. Troy Osborne, Keegan Kelly, and Ronan Schofield, the scheduled hitters for the Sweets. 2 balls and no strikes. Second baseman Diego Cruz playing directly behind the bag at second. Luke's 2-0 pitch is high, ball 3, 3-0. Luke began his outing with a 3-0 count last inning, produced an out, got another out, then walked 2 before retiring the side. He's behind 3-0 to Troy Osborne, comes to the plate and misses ball 4. Luke is not sharp. He's 3 ball counts to virtually every hitter, in fact 2 each hitter except Bo Stinson. Well, he did get Sam Kane on a fly ball to right after a 3-2 pitch out. First pitch out to Sam Kane, then back-to-back walks, an 0-2 count before getting Bo Stinson. The point is he's not filling up the zone with the kind of consistency I'm sure he'd like, and part of that could just be not enough work. Takes a while to kind of get locked in and be sharp with the not enough reps. He comes to the plate and after the leadoff walk. Now Keegan Kelly, a line drive base hit to left center field. Osborne hesitated coming around second, but he'll go safely to third, and Kelly into second with a double. 6:05 tomorrow night if there is a game 3, just letting you know that again. Troy Osborne to third, Keegan Kelly to second. Second and third, nobody out. Ronan Schofield, the batter, 1,123, rather subdued. Corvallis Knights fans with this game not playing to the level of expectation for what we've seen from Knights baseball over the years here. The Knights pull their infield almost all the way into the edge of the green, just trying to stay in the game. A ground ball wide to first, fielded by Ethan Porter. Ethan got to the bag just in time ahead of Schofield. Porter just kind of, I wouldn't say lollygagging his way over to first, but maybe not with the necessary alacrity, but he did get there. All the while kind of keeping an eye on Osborne at third, who holds. Good play by Porter in the long run, but the short run to first took longer than I thought it would. Osborne at third, Keegan Kelly at second. 1 away. Kyler Bittner will be intentionally walked. Gage Reeser's the batter. The double play ball set up. The only downside, in a sense, to putting Bittner on is the fact that Luke Duncan has had some control issues, and there's obviously no place to put Gage Reeser, who comes to the plate. With the bases loaded and 1 out, Luke has got to kind of sharpen it up a little bit and not put himself in a position to issue ball 4. He has 3 walks in the young outing for him in only his 4th appearance. Bases loaded, 1 out. He thought about working from the windup. It almost looked like the way he was taking the sign, but he will work from the stretch with the infield a double play depth for the Knights, down 3-0. The first pitch is inside, ball 1, 1-0 to Gage Reeser. This is a huge pitch, thus, to Gage out of Yakima Valley College and from Timberline High School in the Evergreen State, Lacey. Given the fact that he's had control difficulties, does not want to go 2-0. 1-0 the count. Bases loaded, 1 out. The 1-0 pitch, chased and missed by Gage Reeser. Swung at a breaking ball well out of the zone, and that's a break for Luke Duncan, to be sure. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the 8th inning, 3-0, Walla Walla. Luke kicks and comes to the plate. Breaking ball grounded to third, to the plate for 1, and then no throw to first. A bluff throw. 2 down. The Knights get a force play at the plate. Dakota Chun getting the play at the plate, 5-2. Reeser aboard on the fielder's choice. And the ball was hit sharply enough that I thought Dakota might get out of it with a either around the horn to Cruz or maybe even stepping on third and throwing to first. He opted to get what was the sure out in that case, the out at the plate, but I didn't really think there was a chance for Dakota to come off or for Rios to come off and get a third out on the double play. But that's all going to work out just fine. The strategy all works out well. The strategy. Gage Reeser, the fielder's choice, 5-2, and Sam Kane subsequently pops out to Diego Cruz. Good work by Luke Duncan. 2 walks in the inning, 1 intentional, but he's able to survive second and third and nobody out. Some good pitching and good defense. It'll be the end of the line for the starting pitcher, DJ Kawahi. And whoever this guy is coming in out of the bullpen for Walla Walla, in a sense, I think it's going to be a good sight for the Knights, who could do nothing against Kawahi, who was brilliant, had retired 12 in a row. But a new pitcher is coming in as we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still Walla Walla 3 and the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Bottom of the 8th inning, 3-0 Walla Walla. Quade Gonzalez IV out of Othello, Washington, and a Seattle University commit comes into the ballgame with a very tough act to follow. Brilliant work by DJ Kawahi, who goes 7 scoreless and allows just 2 hits and retired the last 12 nights that he faced. So the Knights are hopeful that perhaps just a different arm out there. They could not solve the offerings of Kawahi. We'll see what they can do with Quade. The first pitch to Xavier Rios misses high for ball 1, 1-0. The Knights dugout has come to life. Just that ball 1 call seemed to inspire the boys a little bit, making a lot of noise on the third base side. Rios swings at a 1-0 pitch and doesn't get it. The count 1-1. Xavier has struck out looking and popped out in front of the plate to his counterpart, Troy Osborne. Quade's 1-1 pitch, fastball just outside, ball 2, 2-1. There was some false information. I appreciate the spirit of the question. They had some Walla Walla trivia between innings up on the big video board here in right field. The 2-1 pitch, a ground ball to the left of the shortstop, Gage Reeser, bobbles, tries to come back and recover and throw to first. Not in time. Good play by Reeser to get to the ball. It'll be a base hit for Xavier Rios. He popped up, and then when he tried to transfer out of the webbing of his glove to his hand, bobbled it a bit, recovered through, but not in time. Just the third hit for the Corvallis Knights tonight, but it snaps a string of 12 in a row set down by DJ Kawahi, the now departed starter from this ball game. Quade Gonzalez IV works on Joey Marasco, and one of the few surges of life in this ballpark tonight has just occurred. Fastball for a strike from Quade, 0-1 the count. 3-0 Walla Walla bottom of the 8th inning. They talked about Adam West and Walla Walla being his natal town, born in Walla Walla, the original television version of Batman. The strike one pitch down and away. But they popped up a question that is just not quite right. They said, you know, who said Walla Walla is a town so nice they named it twice? And they put up Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, Al Jolson, and somebody else. The 1-1 pitch taken for a strike, and the count 1-2. And as the name slowly disappeared from the screen and they left Al Jolson up there, I said, no, I'm sitting there watching that, knowing the Jolson story well, seen it multitudes of times. They said that in the Jolson story, Al Jolson said that. He did not. The 1-2 pitch is a wild pitch to the backstop. Xavier Rios to second. The count now 2-2 to Joey Morosco. There is reference to Walla Walla in the Jolson story, true. And the last time the Sweets were here, I talked about how the old scrapbook method in those old movies where you could kind of move the narrative along by showing Lou Gehrig's wife or Babe's wife or somebody putting articles into the paper that kind of keep you, okay, this is what Dizzy Dean did here, this is what Lou Gehrig did here, as they put articles into a scrapbook. One of them was, oh, look, Papa, Walla Walla, this town was so nice they named it twice, and that was said by A.C. Jolson's mother, not Al Jolson. So there, that's true, what I just told you. The 2-2 pitch is popped foul, back of the plate. Coming back is Troy Osborne, and Troy is not able to hang on. He crashed into the retaining wall and disappeared out of my vision. Let's hope that he's going to be all right. The trainer for the Sweets comes out of the dugout. I cannot now see what happened to Troy Osborne. He came aggressively back to the netting to try to make the catch on that pop foul and banged into it. The fans who were near it and could see it, some of them standing on their feet, and I could hear those who were up the line on the third base side looking across with a much clearer view, all at the same time with an ooh and an awe over what they saw. We didn't see it in real time. I couldn't see it. But the catcher, Troy Osborne, is being tended to now by the trainer, and he is lying, is Troy on his back. And I'm sure that there is concern about, they're just making sure after the collision against the fence. We're good. It's great to see the catcher sitting up, but I think he's going to be coming out of the game. He's mad. He didn't catch the ball. He throws his mitt, does Troy Osborne, down into the well of the dugout. I think mad that he didn't catch the ball. A new catcher is going to come in. Troy doubly upset that he's got to leave the game, but I think he's mad at himself for not catching the pop foul. But a new catcher is in. Troy Osborne leaves. And it's Jalen Kennedy who will take over catching duties for Troy Osborne. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Knights trailing 3-0. They have a runner at second and nobody out. Good effort by Troy Osborne. Let's hope he's going to be all right, and if indeed there is a ball game tomorrow night, that we'll see him tomorrow night. It could be a concussion protocol type situation here for Troy after crashing into the wall behind home plate. Nothing yet. We've got to see what happens. If this guy hits a home run, so it's still the same. But if we rally, then come back and see me if we kind of come back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Meanwhile, Jalen Kennedy getting a chance to catch a few pitches from his battery mate, Quade Gonzalez IV. With the Sweets in command of this ball game, 3-0. But the Knights showing a little bit of spark here with a runner at second and nobody out, and the competitive Joey Morosco trying to drive in the Knights' first run with the fans getting into it. He swings and misses, strike 3. That hurts. because not only did you not get the run in, you didn't get the runner moved over either. Xavier Rios stays at second, now 1 out. Joey Morosco has come through in so many different ways this year that I expected him to either get the base hit or to get the runner moved. But a good pitch made by Quade Gonzalez IV. And now Diego Cruz, the batter, in a much different kind of game tonight than last night. That is the understatement of the summer of 26. Last night, the Knights with 15 runs and 16 hits. Tonight, they're down 3-0 in the 8th. Diego takes a fastball from Quade, a little bit high, ball 1. Diego 4 for 6 last night with 4 runs batted in. 0 for 3 tonight. 3-0 Walla Walla, bottom of the 8th inning. 1 ball and no strikes to Diego Cruz. Diego punches one in the air into shallow left center field. That'll drop for a base hit. Xavier Rios will score. Diego Cruz takes a big turn and holds. And the Knights are on the board. It's now Walla Walla 3 and the Knights 1. Max Medina will be the hitter. So this Saturday evening crowd, a fan base that is kind of the heart and soul of the base, the core that kind of knows what's at stake. You know, during the course of a summer full of promotions and a lot of different things going on, and families so, hey, let's go to a Knights game together this summer. It's wonderful to see the kind of support the Knights get, but the people that come to playoff games, they're here indeed intentionally from the standpoint of, hey, the Knights are in the playoffs, we're going, let's go. And a good crowd enjoying kind of a slight turn in the momentum here in the bottom of the 8th. The pitch to Medina is high, ball 1, 1-0. Walla Walla still leading it 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Quade Gonzalez IV delivers a ground ball back up the middle, juggled once and twice. The toss to second, not in time, everybody safe. Gage Reeser to his left. When the ball first went by the bag, I thought, well, he's going to get at least 1 out, maybe 2. He got neither. And the Knights have runners at first and second. Nobody, 1 out, pardon me, and Ethan Porter, the batter, and the pitching coach, I believe, it could be Leo Rivera. I don't know, there's no numbers, and I don't know the personnel well enough. This could be Coach Rivera going out to either make a pitching change or just have a conversation. If it's the latter, it could indeed be the pitching coach here, Corey Keir. But no signal yet. And the Knights with runners at first and second. And Coach Keir will come back with Ethan Porter coming to the plate. An error charged to the shortstop, Gage Reeser. Ethan Porter to the plate, representing the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Knights trailing 3-1, but have their leading RBI man in Ethan Porter at the plate to try to get the Knights closer. Quade Gonzalez IV to the plate. Fastball swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Good looking pitch from the pride of Othello, Washington. Ethan Porter has lined out, flied out, and grounded out. Cruz at second, Medina at first. 1 out, 3-1, Sweets. Pitches in the turf, and Cruz is going to third. A good slide, and he gets there. No way should he have been going, but he got there on a pitch in the turf. Jalen Kennedy threw a little bit high, and a deft head-first slide by Diego gets him the bag. Holding at first base, Max Medina. Pardon me for the startled tone in voice. Diego was too big of a risk to make an out at third in that situation, but he got away with it. Now Ethan Porter can draw the Knights within a run with a fly ball. The infield, a double play depth. There goes Medina. The pitch is swung on and missed, and no throw through from the new catcher, Jalen Kennedy. Max Medina is in with a stolen base. So the tying runs are in scoring position for the night's RBI leader in Ethan Porter. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ethan. Maverick Russell on deck. 3-1 Walla Walla, bottom of the 8th inning. Diego Cruz at third, Max Medina at second. The right-hander Quade Gonzalez, the fourth from the stretch, delivers, chased and missed. The pitch was well out of the zone. The throw down to first gets Porter, 2 down. Boy, Ethan is such a good hitter, a disciplined hitter, but went out of the zone chasing there. 2 down. Maverick Russell, the batter. Big time for Quade Gonzalez, the fourth, to get a hitter of Porter's caliber in that situation. Now, Maverick Russell trying to pick up Ethan's spirits and this big crowd's spirits tonight after that disappointing turn. Second and third, 2 down. The Knights down 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Maverick backs away and takes high, ball 1, 1-0. Maverick has walked, tripled, and flied out. Good speed on the base paths. Diego Cruz at third. Max Medina at second, 2 away. The strike one pitch, or the 1-0 pitch, pardon me, is inside to Maverick. Ball 2, 2-0. Dakota Chun on deck. 2 balls and no strikes to Maverick Russell. 3-1, Walla Walla, bottom of the 8th inning. Quade to the plate, low, ball 3, 3-0. The Sweets have a right-hander loosening up in their bullpen. Quade Gonzalez, the fourth, a pitch away from loading the bases. The right-hander delivers high, ball 4 to load him up. The Sweets appear to have a right-hander loosening up in the bullpen. And whoever that is going to be coming into the ball game now, and we'll find out together here in just a moment. The Knights have the bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning, trailing 3-1. Trey Morse, a right-hander, will be getting the call. So a pitching change at hand, bases loaded, 2 away, the Sweets leading 3-1. We'll be back in 2 to the high drama at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
inside. Trey Morse at the call here from Coach Leo Rivera with the Knights trailing 3-1, bottom of the 8th inning. The first pitch from Trey to Dakota Chun, way inside and almost hit Dakota. Bottom of the 8th, 3-1 Sweets. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Chun. Low, ball 2, 2-0. The bases loaded, 2 down. Diego Cruz at third, Max Medina at second, Maverick Russell at first. 2 balls and no strikes to Dakota Chun. Ryan Severns on deck. The Knights trailing 3-1 in the din at Goss. The 2-0 pitch low and inside, ball 3, 3-0. Surprisingly, Dakota started to swing and held up, but the very fact that he was even thinking of swinging and not just taking all the way, a little bit of a surprise. He'll be taking all the way here. 3 balls, no strikes, bases loaded, 2 down. The Knights trailing 3-1. Trey Morse from the stretch, the 3-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 3-1. Clutch pitch from Morse. A brilliant outing from the starter, DJ Kawahi. The Knights trying to break through against the bullpen. Trailing 3-1, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th, the sack's full. Cruz, Medina, and Maverick get their leads. The 3-1 pitch is pulled, foul. Past Marcus Matias, and the count goes full to 3-2. Good job by Trey Morse. In the pressure cooker at Goss, and the fans as loud as I've heard them. I couldn't hear Brian Thomas saying whether I was back or not. Here we go again. The runners will go on the pitch. The crowd into it. Game 2, the Knights trying to rally and end the series tonight. The runners go. The 3-2 pitch, very high, ball 4. And the Knights pull within a run on the bases loaded walk to Dakota Chun. Diego Cruz steps on the plate. Now they Sweets 3 and the Knights 2. Ryan Severns the batter. Dakota Chun drawing the bases loaded walk. It's now 3-2 Sweets in the bottom of the 8th. Third baseman Kyler Bittner over for a quick chat with Trey Morse. And now the catcher Jalen Kennedy goes out for a visit. Ryan Severns to the plate. Coach Knight, I think, wants to know, okay, is that just one visit? You had the third baseman start to go over, then deferred to the catcher, Jalen Kennedy. Ryan Severns, the hitter, bases loaded, 2 down, a 1-run ball game. 3-2 Sweets. Severns has singled, popped to second, and flied to left. The pitch to Ryan outside, ball 1, 1-0. Max Medina at third base. Maverick Russell at second. Dakota Chun at first. 2 down. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. The count 1-1 to Ryan Severns. Walla still with the leads. They're in decent shape if they can get through this ordeal of an inning. In the bottom of the 8th, leading 3-2. The Knights with the bases loaded and 2 down. Trey Morse from the stretch delivers. Good fastball. Swung on and missed. And Morse now ahead of the count, 1-2. Ryan really looking to battle here with Morse trying to keep the Sweets in front. The Knights have scored twice, have pulled within a run. The tying run 90 feet away. Max Medina from third, Maverick Russell from second, Dakota Chun from first. Fastball fouled back, and Ryan Severns stays alive. 1-2 the count. Zane Garvey on deck. Bottom of the 8th. The Knights are trying to bring on Kellen Siegel here. If they could take the lead, Kellen would have a chance to close it in the 9th. Bottom of the 8th, 3-2, Walla. Bases loaded, 2 down. The 1-2 pitch to Severns. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. Walla still very much alive, but so are the Knights. They get 2 to get back in it, but they had a chance to take the lead and win it. Kellen, I think, is coming in anyway. It's not a save situation. We'll see. We go to the top of the ninth. The Knights get 2, leave 3. It's not Kellen coming in. We'll find out whom here in a moment. We go to the ninth. 3-2 Walla Walla back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Top of the ninth inning. Good ball game. 3-2 Walla Walla. Jinky Tomita is the new pitcher for the Knights, and his charge now, with the Knights having clawed back to within a run, is to keep it a one-run game to give the Knights a legitimate shot in the bottom half of the inning. Great job by Trey Morse. He walked the leadoff man the first man that he faced to force in a run, but then against a really good hitter in Ryan Severn, strikes him out with the bases loaded. Huge moment for Walla Walla. The Sweets trying to keep their season alive with a win. They're 3 outs away from it. Gaines Hawson takes the first pitch from Tomita. Outside, ball 1-0. Jinky works from the stretch, delivers a breaking ball, dropped by Xavier Rios. 2 balls and no strikes the count, with Jinky Tomita out of Grant High School getting ready to head off to Feather River College. Behind the count to Gaines Hawson, 2 balls and no strikes, 3-2 Walla Walla. Top of the ninth inning, and Jinky's 2-0 pitch is outside for ball 3, 3-0. Really a great job by Morse to get a strikeout with all of that pressure. The Knights this close to taking a lead and having a chance to wrap it up right here in this top of the ninth inning. Instead, it's still Walla Walla in front. The 3-0 pitch in there for a strike, and the count 3-1 to Gaines Hawson. Gaines has grounded to short, single to left, lined out, and walked. Tomita's 3-1 pitch popped up to shallow right field. Joey Morosco moves in and over a few steps, makes the catch. Good job by Jinky. Down in the count, 3-0. Comes back to get the first out in the top of the ninth inning. Jinky is making his 7th appearance, 15 innings coming in. He's walked 10 and struck out 10 in his previous outings, and he is able to get the big first out here in the top of the ninth. The left-hand hitter steps to the plate. Logan Nakamura, and Logan takes low and inside, ball 1. Jinky ready in the 1-0 pitch, fastball up, ball 2, 2-0. Jinky has fallen behind the first 2 batters that he's faced. He was able to come back and get the leadoff hitter, but he's behind the count again now, 2-0 to Logan Nakamura. Jinky steps off the rubber for a moment. high drama in Ridgefield tonight, where Oregon State's own Josh Proctor has just hammered a 3-run home run to give Ridgefield an 8-6 lead over the Portland Pickles at the Rourke. So good for Josh. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Jinky Tomita with the Knights down 3-2 delivers down and in. Ball 3, 3-1. All 3 runs for the Sweets back in the second inning. The Knights finally broke through for 2. Still trail here in the ninth. 3-1 pitch is ball 4. A heck of a note. A walk in the top of the ninth. It just feels like anything else. If the Swedes can manage to push another run across, it would be a difficult blow to recover from. So it's up to Jinky Tomita to fill up the zone, throw strikes, and make sure that doesn't occur to give the Knights in the bottom of the ninth inning a legitimate shot. Zane Garvey, Xavier Rios, and Joey Morosco, the scheduled hitters. Jinky to the plate, breaking ball, strike. 0-1 the count. Three to 2 Walla Walla. Nakamura held on at first by Ethan Porter. A throw to first, and Nakamura back to the bag. Jinky Tomita following Micah Hagler and Luke Duncan. Another throw to first, and Nakamura back. A very well-pitched game by both teams. If the Knights are compelled to play Game 3 tomorrow, they have one of the best arms in the country in their starter, Bryce Hill, going. The strike 1 pitch from Jinky misses down and away. 1-1 the count. So that is, I'm sure, of some comfort to the Knights if they're not able to rally and win this thing, to know they've got the power arm of Bryce Hill in the winner-take-all game tomorrow. That's a 6:05 start should it come. The 1-1 pitch from Jinky, down and away, ball 2, 2-1. To the right-hand hitting Bo Stinson, who has singled home a run, grounded into a double play, lined out and grounded out against Luke Duncan, a little tapper that Luke took care of on his own in the 7th. We're in the 9th. 3-2 Walla Walla. The 2-1 pitch, a jam job to first. Porter goes to second for a force. Good play by Ethan, 2 down. Ethan Porter getting a big out at second. Nicely done. Rather than just get the sure out at first, he wanted to cut down, knowing how important that run is out at second base that would have been represented by Nakamura on the fielder's choice. 3-6, 2 down. And Jalen Kennedy gets his first at-bat of the night after taking over for Troy Osborne, who left in that eventful bottom of the 8th inning. Kennedy getting his first at-bat here in the top of the 9th. 3-2 Sweets. Breaking ball, knocked down by Rios, and then no play. A wild pitch. So after extolling Porter's work, and it still deserves to be, the runner's at second anyway on the ensuing wild pitch. So the Knights unfortunately kind of give that right back in the form of the wild pitch, meaning that a base hit from Kennedy would put Walla Walla in great shape to get this series even, and they're in pretty good shape as it is. Up 3-2 in the 9th. Jinky's 1-0 pitch misses low and inside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. The Sweets have not scored since the second inning, the only inning wherein they have scored, but it could be enough. They're up 3-2 in the 9th. The pitch on the way, fastball down and away, ball 3 to Jalen Kennedy. 3 balls and no strikes the count. Kennedy with a count of 3-0. Backs out for a moment, has a look down at Coach Rivera. Huge run represented at second base by Bo Stinson. 3 balls and no strikes to Jalen Kennedy. Fastball down the middle. Jalen taking all the way. The count 3-1. Again, when the Knights bat in the bottom of the ninth inning, the bottom third, Zane Garvey, Xavier Rios, and Joey Morosco, the scheduled hitters. Jinky Tomita trying to keep this a one-run affair to give the fellas a chance in the bottom half. The 3-1 pitch, a two-hopper to the left of Severns. Ryan up with it, throws to first, and the inning is over. So, the Knights stay within a run. In only one inning have the Swedes scored. That was 3 runs back in the second. The Knights picked up 2 in the 8th. If they can do it again, they're on to the South Division title game, but they need 1 at the end of 8.5. The Walla Walla Swedes 3 and the Knights 2. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Bottom of the 9th inning, the Knights trailing 3-2. Trey Morris did an excellent job in the bottom of the 8th. Out of Mountain Home, Idaho, playing his college baseball at Gonzaga, 6-foot, 172-pound right-hander. 3 outs away from pitching the Swedes into a winner-take-all game tomorrow. And first ball swinging, Zane Garvey, a tapper to third. Right at Kyler Bittner, who throws to first. 1 pitch, 1 out. The Knights are down to their final 2 outs. Trailing 3-2. Great job by Morris. That was just a gigantic strikeout that he achieved against Ryan Severns. Bases loaded, 2 down after walking in a run. Morse recovers to strike out Severns, and now his first pitch to Xavier Rios. Swung out and missed. 0-1 the count. 1 pitch, 1 out, so no sense of this crowd or a chance for any kind of pressure to be put on Morse. And that first out's the biggest, and now he's ahead to Rios, 0-2. Swung out and missed. Joey Morosco on deck. 3-2 Walla Walla. Bottom of the 9th inning. Morse drops the arms, kicks the leg, delivers 0-2. Swung out and missed, strike 3. Wow. No pressure at all. I mean, just 2 quick outs. So that's a tremendous job by Morse. 4 pitches in the inning, 2 outs, nobody on. It's up to Joey Morosco to try to keep the Knights alive for tonight. They're still very much alive for the series, regardless of what unfolds here. Tomorrow night, 6:05, would be the decisive Game 3 of this best 2 of 3 set. Morse trying to get his team there, and he will. Morosco, a fly ball to shallow center. Backpedaling is the second baseman, Keegan Kelly. Nothing to it. The Knights go quietly, quickly, 1-2-3 in the 9th. One was expecting some buildup, quite honestly. Runners on, bunt. And Trey Morris just says, no, none of that. Great job by the right-hander out of Mountain Home, Idaho. Trey Morse gets the save. The win, deserving DJ Kawahi. The Knights pitched very well. So it sets up a winner-take-all game tomorrow. Game 3 will be on the air at 5:50. It's a 6:05 first pitch. Good ball game. A tremendous victory for Walla Walla. After getting pummeled last night at home, they get on the bus, drive deep into the night, and come back to win impressively. 3 runs, 10 hits, and an error for Walla Walla. For the Knights, 2 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. The Sweet score 3 in the second inning. The call at first base, very close, but the key play of the game, without question. The call at first to lead off the second, Logan Nakamura called safe. I believe that a strong argument could have been made that he was out. I haven't seen a video replay or anything, but I thought he was out. Instead, he was called safe, and the inning was on. Without that call, who knows what would have unfolded here tonight. But that was the key moment of the game. Walla Walla, to its credit, took advantage of it and forced a decisive Game 3 tomorrow. 5:50 airtime, 6:05 first pitch. Want to thank all of you for joining us. Walla Walla Sweets are exuberant in their celebration on the field. They're shouting and jumping around because now the pressure clearly swings to the home team. It's a quiet little huddle out in left field for the Knights and Brook Knight. But the Knights are at home, and you worked hard, did the Knights, to get home field advantage for the very reason that they got hot down the stretch to get home field advantage for this series, and they hope to take advantage of it tomorrow night. We hope you'll join us. CorvallisKnights.com for tickets. Plenty of opportunity to get them at the window. The Knights had a strong and loud and supportive crowd tonight. Most of them going home disappointed. Walla Walla, to its great credit, forces a Game 3 tomorrow. For Brian Thomas and for Javon Grossman, this is Mike Parker thanking you for joining us at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The South Divisional title game tomorrow night, 6:05, right back here. Again, our final score, Walla Walla 3, the Knights 2. See you tomorrow on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. So long, everybody.